What's up, guys? Welcome back to Diesel Creek. If this is your first time joining us, my name's Matt. Currently loaded up in my pickup truck today. We got the trailer on the back here, and we are going on another rescue mission. My neighbor cleans out like houses and stuff for the scrap metal all the time, and he turned me on to a beautiful CJ-5 sitting in a barn for God knows how long. It's got about an inch of dust on it, and she's a little rough around the edges, but it's an early CJ-5 and it looks good. So we're gonna go see if we can't save this thing. The valve cap's doing more to hold the fluid in than the valve core. I think I have valve cores in my truck, but I doubt you're going to get this thing out. It's taking air. I don't know how, but it's taking it. We got started. I've never seen that. Look at the Bellagio coming out of that tire. Oh, we got to get this old Ford 8N out of the way here. I've never seen a tire geyser like that. The valve's all messed up on it. It's just spraying antifreeze. She's a pretty rusty old tractor. Unfortunately, she's bound for the scrapyard. I can't take any more projects. You guys know I have way too many. So we're gonna get this thrown on a trailer first, and then should be able to focus on that girl. This stuff is, it's like seeing a barracuda get scrapped or something. Well, we got that girl loaded out. Pretty uneventful. Now, the reason you guys are all here, I haven't figured out a year or anything yet, but I do believe this is an early CJ-5. Got a little plow mount on it. She's banged up a little bit, but overall in pretty good shape. I'm pretty happy about it. The tub looks pretty rust free for our area anyway. I love that. Anyway, let's see if these tires hold some air and get it drug out of here. I'm gonna have to spool out and reset my winch. It's pulling over crooked. Cut it hard if you can. Yeah, I gotta fix it. Yeah, straighten up, you look good. That's probably pretty good right there. So, what do you think about me dragging home another vehicle?
I like this one.
You hear that, folks? She actually says she likes this one. I showed her a picture last night over dinner, and to my surprise, she said, that thing's cool. Who would have ever thought?
You can get rid of the other junk.
Nope. I don't know that we're going to get rid of this. I bought this and said, oh, that'll be cool. I'll fix it up, get it running, and make a couple bucks. But actually really fallen in love with the barn patina here. It's been used to check on cattle its whole life. It's really never really been driven on the road. I was told by the daughter of the guy that bought it new. So that's right, this is a one-owner Jeep. It's a little banged up. You know, it's seen some pastures and some farm roads. But for as old as it is, it's in really good shape.
Look at that. You can see through the floor.
That's the worst of it. The floorboards have got a little rot there. That's not really a big deal. Throw a piece of sheet metal in there. Ain't nothing. According to the odometer, we're looking at 11,800 miles.
That's pretty good. You gotta teach me how to use this though. Are you gonna put a whole new thing in here?
No, you're gonna have to learn how to use this. It's got the original Jeep key in it. That's pretty cool. Oh, the battery's dead. And the best part, not this. I found the doors as I was getting ready to leave. I was looking up in the rafters of the garage next to the barn, and I found these hanging from the rafters. And they're still actually pretty pliable for old fabric like that. Those would be the original factory doors. Watch, they're going to be brittle. You got to be gentle.
Okay. I'm not gonna mess.
But I mean, they're in good shape considering. So at least they got good frames if the fabric does deteriorate, which I'm sure it will. All right, I got this Jeep pulled out for a minute here. I don't think we're gonna get to work on it for a little while yet, but one thing I do want to fix, or hope to fix, I can't get the engine to turn by hand. She's pretty well stuck. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the plugs out of this guy. It's just a little 4-banger. So we'll pull the plugs out and soak this thing down with some Croil. I'll bet my bottom dollar that this thing was running when parked, and it just, from sitting in that barn so long, got stuck. Oof. I don't know, actually, that plug's got some crusties on it. It's kind of rusty. Oof. Smells like oil though. I don't know. Can you guys see that? That just changed my confidence level a bit. But I still have confidence that we can make this thing run. Just give her just a little sniff of this Croil. Just a little sniff. Let that soak for a couple months or weeks or however long it takes me to come back to this project. I'm really starting to wonder about this thing now. This plug I just pulled out of number 1 here is brand new. It doesn't look like it's ever been fired on. Ooh, I don't know. I figured we'd be able to just soak this thing down, break it loose, fire it up, but some weird things going on here. Even still, these little 4-bangers are pretty much bulletproof engines. And worst come to worst, and I don't think it's going to come to this, but worst come to worst, I do have a 4-cylinder VW diesel engine sitting out here that would be a really cool swap into something like this. Number 3 also looks pretty darn new. Doesn't look like it's been run on that plug either, but it's got some corrosion going on. Sugar, what are we doing?
We're gonna work on this.
The wife is actually excited about a project for once. She's even wanted to come help. So we're finally gonna get to this thing. It's been, I don't know, a month and a half or so since I put the oil in the engine. We soaked her down with the Croil there, and hopefully the old mill is freed up here, but I don't know for sure yet. So Miss Eva doesn't know anything about mechanics yet, really, but she is starting to gain an interest.
Starting.
Anyway, we're gonna tinker on this thing a bit, and hopefully we can get it broken loose and fired up today. And that might be a pretty lofty goal at this point, but it'd be something. So the first thing we do before we try to start anything, and I'm talking to Miss Eva now, is check all our fluids so you know the condition of what you're working with here. In this case, this doohickey over here is our dipstick.
Okay.
So it's black, but it's in the full, and that's with the engine leaning a little bit because we got multiple flat tires on this unit. So yeah, that's good. We got oil. That means we can turn it over and run it. Check the coolant. I don't think it has any coolant. No, you guys can't see in there, but it looks bone dry. And I didn't bring any with me today, and I don't want to put creek water in it, so if we get it running, we can't run it very long, but proof of concept would be good.
Do you want me to go?
Alright, so as you guys saw a few moments ago, when I pulled all the plugs and squirted the Croil down in there, there was definitely some condensation, or corrosion rather, on the plugs. I think it was this cylinder that was especially bad. So I'm hoping the Croil did its magic and this thing is going to break loose right now, but that remains to be seen. I'm gonna have to poke around down there and see if I can find something to hook a wrench onto the crank snout with and turn it over. Well, this is the best thing I have to get onto the crankshaft here. It's kind of a weird angle, but it's the moment of truth. Let's see if this thing can be spun. Oh, well, that ain't good. She shouldn't be that hard. No, doesn't even want to think about it. Well, we got Eva back here. She's decided to clean out the back of this thing while I'm tinkering around up front here. Things are getting a little more heated up here. I can't get it to turn from the front, so I'm going to take off the starter down there, and hopefully I can get a pry bar on the flywheel and maybe bar it over that way. Fingers crossed. Ow! Man, Jeep just tore my shirt. That's disappointing. These are my good shirts. Bottom bolt's a stud. You better soak it down with some Grow.
Do this by yourself.
It's tough. You make way. But it's definitely nicer to have two people sometimes.
I'm not a lefty, but this...
Most people can run a ratchet with both hands.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's different. This is
A lot faster.
Want me to get it?
I got it. Okay. Pull that bolt out. Good job.
Thanks.
Ugh. Look at all the crustiness that the starter was holding up there, huh? Alright, well, hopefully we can get this pry bar to hook on these flywheel teeth here and bar this thing over. Although I'm not overly optimistic about it. Ow! So I'm actually sitting here right now and editing the video that you're watching, and I just noticed for the first time that when I did that with the pry bar, the flywheel actually did move a little bit. At the time, I could not see that at all, and I actually tried several more times after this clip off camera to try to get that thing to move, as well as off the crank snout again with a wrench and a socket, and I could not get that engine to budge at all, forwards or backwards. I don't know how I was able to move it right there with the pry bar and then not move it again. Doesn't make any sense, but that's what happened. I don't think it moved. Negative. Ew. Well, I still can't get this thing to budge. I got one of these cheapo depot borescopes off of Amazon that you connect to your phone, and for what you pay for them, they do all right. So we'll have a peek down inside of this thing, and hopefully we don't see too much damage. So here we go with the borescope, see what we can see. Yeah, that's our cylinder. That ain't looking real hot. Oh man. can still see the coil sitting down there soaking. Oh, that's good. This one looks much better. That's what we want to see. Nice clean cylinder walls. Okay, well, I hope you guys saw what I saw in there with that borescope. Basically, 3 out of 4 cylinders look pretty good. This guy right here, this number 2 cylinder, looks bad. It's so bad that after a month and a half of sitting with the coil in the cylinder there, that the coil is still around the rings. It hasn't all dropped down into the oil pan. So those things must be galled up pretty good. I've got one last trick up my sleeve I want to try before I go ahead and just pull the head and knock it loose that way. I think that I'd be able to hone out that cylinder in place and get this thing broke free that way. Anywho, before I do that, I'm going to try one last thing. Alright, so here's the last trick up my sleeve I got. This is a Kano Labs product, X-Rust, and this is supposed to be one of those magical rust removing concentrates. So I'm going to try and dump this stuff in there, and hopefully this eats all the rust that is binding up that piston right now, and hopefully that sets us home free.
I don't want to get the product everywhere.
Alright.
Okay.
Get one more.
More.
Alright, well, we managed to get that in there without spilling hardly any of it, which is pretty darn impressive because the funnel didn't even fit in the hole. I'm going to let that marinate overnight and we'll see what happens. I've used similar products to this in the past and it actually does a pretty good job. Never used this particular one, but I'm hoping for the best. I really like their other products, so this stuff hopefully works good too. Well, here we are the next day. I'm going to go ahead and throw a wrench on the crank snout and see if we can't get this thing to turn. So it's been soaking for, I don't know, like 16 hours now or something. We'll see if we get lucky here. Oh, no way. This thing still isn't even thinking about it. Man, after about, I'd say almost an hour of archaeology in this thing, did uncover some kind of cool stuff. Lots of fencing supplies and nails and nuts and bolts, and that all checks out because what I was told about this vehicle was that it was just used for checking cows and fence and all that, so that all the fence staples support that argument. Found a whole bunch of old school pull tabs. Somebody was having themselves a good time in this ride. And Eva found this stuff the other day when she was cleaning out the big stuff. Now, I don't know what this thing is exactly, and I'm hoping somebody in the comments can tell me. It looks like you put it on top of something and you hit it, judging by the mushroomed head up here. But I just can't figure out what in the heck that was for. If you guys know, make sure you tell me down in the comments, because I'm dying to know what this goes to. Other than that, we found an oil can, railroad spike, big bolt, the original hood pulled down. There's only one on there right now. Here's the original one that was laying on the floorboard. Old school icy golden lager. You can see one of those pull tabs came off of here. TG Beverages, never heard of that one. Bottled in McDonald, Pennsylvania. That's not too far from me. I think this is one of the original shoes off a snowplow. Old mason jar. And then the big score, Channel Lock brand 8-inch crescent wrench. It still kind of moves. A little bit of silica oil on there and she'll be back to usable condition. Probably just throw this right back in the glove box. All right, I ended up thunderstorming and I couldn't wash it yesterday. I come out here to wash it today. So the X-rust has been soaking in this cylinder for 30 hours or so now, at least. So let's give it another go here and see if this thing won't break loose for us. You guys just keep your eyes on that fan right there and you'll be able to see if this thing budges. It moved. It moved. Can you guys see? Holy crap. Oh, it's moving pretty easy now. Oh, I just got so excited. Yes, I did not want to have to take that head off, although we still might have to if it has a blown head gasket and that's what caused it to get stuck in the first place. But at this point, I'm not gonna. So yeah, let me try to get this thing to make a couple full revolutions, make sure everything turns over okay. Did we start pushing stuff out that hole yet? Because we're probably gonna. Oh yeah! Oh, this thing's turning over like a dream now. Oh guys, I am so happy right now. All right, it's turning over good. I think I've made 4 or 5 full revolutions there. I'm gonna throw the starter back in it and hopefully we can crank it over and blow all the crap out of that cylinder that we have in there, because it's probably gonna spray out here. And okay, I'm getting excited here. I got the starter all hooked back up. I pulled out all of our plugs so that we can get this thing to spin over as fast as possible. There is still oil down in all 3 cylinders except for this one that we put the X-rust in. So I'm gonna hit the key and hopefully this thing turns over. I did bench test the starter while it was out and it still spun fine. So we'll see. Okay, you guys ready? Contact. Nothing. What the heck? Attempt number 2. Ready? Contact. Why you do nothing? Guess I'm gonna try jumping directly to the starter here. Contact. Still nothing. What the heck? Take 3. Contact. There we go. Well, it spins over nice, but it is not the big capuche of solution that I figured we might have. All 4 are pushing air just fine. All right, I just cleaned up all 4 of these plugs. I blew them out with a compressor and cleaned them with some brake clean. But I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but these plugs are all brand new. This engine has never been run with these plugs. So that tells me that somebody was in here meddling around at some point, trying to get this thing to run probably. And they either didn't know what they were doing or there's bigger issues. Of course, right off the bat, I'm gonna assume that our points need cleaned because something sitting like this for so long, the points get corroded, they get a film on them, and then they won't spark. So we'll get a piece of emery board. I hope I have one. Piece of emery board in there on the distributor. We'll clean up those points real quick, and hopefully we can get some spark up to these guys, and maybe we'll just give it, you know, a tickle of ether just to say, hey, it popped off and ran. I can't help myself. You know I'm gonna do it. I'll stick these plugs all back in here for right now. There is one of them I saw, the ceramic around the electrode had a little chip out of it, so that's gonna need replaced. I don't know that these are the proper plugs either, so might end up replacing all of them if they are incorrect. Now, if I would have had the forethought, I would have brought a compression gauge with me today, and I would have compression tested this now, and then after we did our service and got it running, hopefully, check the compression again after you run it a while and see if the compression comes up, which I'm going to imagine in an engine like this it probably would. A lot of times when engines sit like this, especially obviously this one rusted up, they people just love when I put in plugs with an impact. I'm barely even cranking on them. I mean, they're just snugging them up really. I use the impact for everything, so I like to think I have a pretty good feel of how much torque I'm putting onto something. And if you don't use an impact at all, you'd be amazed at the amount of time it saves you. Anyway, back to what I was saying, the rings will actually like seize up in the piston grooves, and they won't form to the cylinder walls and give you that nice tight compression seal. So after you run them a while, sometimes the rings will loosen back up and expand and create that compression that you're looking for. Let's pop our distributor cap off here. Have a little look-see. Oh, that one's on there. There we go. Oh, nice and clean in there, which is a good sign. This thing in the middle here, if you don't know, this thing spins around and it has little lobes on it for each cylinder, and it opens and closes this point gap right here. Those are called breaker points, and that sends the spark from the coil to your plug wires. This little doohickey that spins around on top here is your rotor, and it has a contact on there that receives the power from the coil. So a lot of times that will also corrode, and you need to make sure that's cleaned up, but ours looks pretty good. I'll probably hit it with some Scotch-Brite just in case. Well, I swore that I had some of those nail files in my truck, and I can't find them anywhere. So we're going to try just passing a business card between the points about 500,000 times. See what that does for us. It's not ideal, but you can't easily see how much corrosion is coming off on the card already, and that was just after a second. So we'll run these back and forth for a while, and we might get lucky here. I don't have any sandpaper or anything with me. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm usually more prepared than this. Did a little bit more cleaning on those points, and I ran a dedicated hot wire over to the coil. That way we don't have to worry about the key switch, because I'm pretty sure something's goofy there. I think some wires might be ate up behind the dash. But anyway, look what we got now. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can see spark. Let's go ahead and stick our cap back on there, and we might be ready to get this thing fired up. All right, if my calculations are correct, this thing is just about ready to try to fire up for the first time since God knows when. In lieu of some ether, the whole fuel system is not even remotely ready yet, but we're gonna bottle feed it a little bit instead of using some ether. and I can just dump that straight down our throat hole here, fill up this bowl vent. That'll get us enough to do something. And just chocolate with my hand here. I think we're ready. You guys ready? Little red light blinking. There's actually a butterfly on top of the camera right now. Hope that's a good sign. Choke, contact. Oh, look how quick that was. That didn't even make half a revolution. I think we need more fuel. That ought to do her. Contact. Oh, really close, guys. Oh man, did it stink like old fuel. Oh man. This is also not just straight gas. This is 2-cycle mix. That way we got some extra oils and stuff in there to help lubricate this old engine. It runs! Looks like you guys got the smoke show over there too, huh? Probably just blew a whole bunch of rats' nests out of that thing. Woo! Oh, it did. You guys got to see this. So all that sludge that we had put into the engine to free it up there, look at it, just blew it all over the floor back here. Ugh. It's all dripping out the muffler, so I think it's safe to say the muffler doesn't work. It's got a hole in it somewhere. That's all that rust remover that we had in the cylinder, I would imagine. It actually sounded like it was running on all 4. Let's try to give it another go here with some more gas. Woo! I swear it sounds like it's running on all 4 to me. Sometimes the camera audio sounds a bit off. I don't know what you guys think it sounds like. Oh man, I'm excited. Let's try it again. I am so stoked about this project. This is such a cool old Jeep. I love the patina on this. A lot of people told me to leave the patina on the auto car, and see that it was so rotten, like it didn't look like patina to me. That looks like a rotten piece of junk. So that needs fixed. But something like this, yeah, it's banged up a little bit and it's got some surface rust, but overall it doesn't look like I just pulled it out of the woods where it's been sitting for 30 years. It looks like it's been sitting in a barn, which is the kind of stuff I'm after. I really think that this will clean up a little bit. I might try to bang out some of the dents. You guys should let me know what you think about that. See, and like, still got the original 4-wheel drive thing on there. That looks awesome. I don't want to do anything to disturb that graphic. I'm gonna get the seats redone. And basically, I just want to go through it and make sure everything's functional. Good brakes, good tires, because these ones, I don't think they're very good anymore. I do want to fix the spare tire holder because I do have the spare for it over there. I want to mount that back up on there. I think those look cool. And yeah, this is just going to be a really cool running around town little parts grabbing buggy. I'm so excited. Well guys, I think this video is getting pretty long, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here. I am still overall thrilled with this Jeep. I really just love this thing. I can't put it into words. I just really, really like this thing. Anyways, guys, I am tickled pink with what we were able to get done here today, get this engine freed up. That was a major accomplishment, especially considering how rusty that number 2 cylinder looked. So very happy with our success here. And in the next video, we're going to go ahead and steam clean off the entire engine so I can really work on it better. We'll steam clean the whole vehicle, actually. We're going to tackle the carburetor. We're going to maybe pull the valve cover, have a look at the valve train in there, make sure there's nothing hanging up or out of adjustment. And we'll go ahead and do a service on it and start checking out everything else that we need to make this thing go down the road. I know I like this video, but if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel out. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you can see this thing rolling down the road again. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Later.